Hey everyone, welcome back to another part of season 3 of Secure Notes. This is part 2. I apologize for the previous episode or previous part where the video was kind of blurry. So I just changed it back to the correct setting. I'm using OBS right now to do recording. I used to use QuickTime, so I didn't really know what to do with the settings. But for part 2, we're going to get started with the code. So what we need to do today is a couple of things. So I spent a bit of time to write down a list of things that we have to do for pretty much the bugs that I have. So I'm going to create a Trello board soon. I might make it public so everyone can see what it is. Essentially, when you use a Trello board, it's kind of like an agile board for developers to just write down bugs and tickets to work on and have a point system to determine how kind of work heavy a ticket may be or how complicated it might get. So I'm going to do this point system. It's kind of pointless since I am the only developer, but we just do it for the fun of it, just so it's for authenticity. So for today, as you guys can tell by the title and right here, we're going to work on a few things, right? So today we're going to do a bit of Coredata stuff, changing the title and a bit of stuff like that from here. We're going to also do ViewWillAppear, and we had to make sure the notes have titles because if we run the app right now, we would notice that some of the notes don't have a title in it, or at least it's possible not to have any. So we're gonna get started with that. While simulator the notes, so these are the rest of the bugs that I have. So what we can do is just comment down below if you guys want other features, additional features you want to have on this app, or like what you want to see or things like that, and I'll see if I can implement it into this app, and I'll try to. Well, it'll be extremely helpful, I think. I think that this format for learning the code would be beneficial. Sheet is a little bit different. So here I'm just going to show you guys a preview of what an alert sheet and an action sheet looks different, how it looks. So continuing on, we want to create an action. So I'm going to call it OK action. Essentially, we want to allow the user to be able to click OK and exit from that alert. So UI alert action. Title is okay, and styles.default, and we don't want a handler on this one, so pretty much we don't want anything to happen after okay. We just want to exit out the controller. So we want to add that action over to the alert controller, so I'll add okay action. Then we're going to tell the view controller to present a view controller, and we will present the alert controller. We want to animate this, and we don't need anything on completion, so we don't want it to, like, for example, print something or like do an API call after you click OK. So this is just the code. So this is all the this is kind of the logic of what's going to happen when the user puts an empty note. So we're going to command artist right now and just show you how it looks like. So essentially now when we add a note, it should not be empty. So if we put a note, click done, see, there's no title. So we can do this also for the note text field, but it is okay to not have a note to start. It goes for this part. So it seems like it's working. Let's add something in. Done. Perfect. Okay, so that works. So the next problem is that we notice that we don't see the action, right? So we don't see the notes after we go back, which is this issue, which is a ViewWillAppear issue. So we just got to go back to view control and look and see what we have here on our ViewWillAppear. And it seems like we have the code, right? They'll get the context, we're fetching it. It seems like we're doing it right here. But let's see what's the issue again. Yeah, so we want to change the ViewWillAppear should only change if they have ours is different. So what we want to do here is, so the problem is that if, let's just see, so if I go to simulator right now, let's say I open this and I log in. I think I have the wrong password. Okay, so we get in here, we logged in already, right? And the idea here is that when we click on it again, we should be able to log in, which is perfect. Let's see. So the issue here is that the ViewWillAppear does not seem to be running through in a way where it's not showing the new content. So after this, it's not really showing its new content. So to do that, we want to do here, we want to put a curly bracket on the array, call it this set, and here we're going to self.days collection view.reload data. So what this does is that it tells the view controller to, when we call days array equals a new array or something, like equals to empty array, we're going to reload the table view so we get the new data. So how this works is, once I put it in here and I press done, you see how it shows up now. So when I plug in, it works, right? It's perfect. So the other issue here is, as you can see right here, and this is where the issue runs, is when we do that, we reload the data. Each of these new objects, every single time we log in and we come back, it's a new object. So now this is another random gibberish note. So we want to fix that. So if we haven't really changed anything, we don't want this to get a new note. We don't want it to ask us for new password. So to do that, we just want to do this. So if days array does not equal to new array, we want to run this code here. That's pretty much it. So we just want to make sure they do not, and then set it. That if not, then we don't have to worry about it because nothing's really changed. So the problem here is, let's see what error we're running into. So it says self-where self-equatable requires that day pass object conforms to equatable. So the problem here is that our day pass object is not conforming to a equatable. So there's two ways to do this. We can just conform it here, which is one way to do it. I personally like to do it this way, where I create an extension to it. So day pass object equatable. And then I want to do it this way because I usually find this to be a little bit more organized, so we know that where this code or why we're writing this particular code is because we're conforming to this specific class. So here we are. So what we want to do is return a Boolean, and we want to compare the two elements that we are given and make sure that they are the same exactly. So we want to do date. We want to make sure they're all equal. Perfect. Okay, so this should not give us any more errors now. We would do Command B, which basically builds a project but doesn't run it on the emulator. Perfect. So let's just test this out real quick. Let's just run it and see how the thing goes. So let's see if that fixes the issue with the ViewWillAppear. All right, so let's say I enter here and log in. Okay, access granted. So it's ASDF DSF. Perfect. So now we're not running into that issue. Just to make sure everything's working, let's just say we add a new one. So the issue now would technically occur where if I already logged in once, now making a new note, I still have to re-enter the password. So that's an issue we will have to solve eventually. But it's also the thing where we do need to solve it, and we need to figure out how we want it to be secured, because I don't know if we want to put a password just overall on the notes, or do we want to put a password for each note. So we can fix that later on, but as of right now, technically this issue is solved. As of right now, ViewWillAppear only changes if the days array is different. So next we want to change the secured notes to secure notes instead of secure notes. Easy fix. That's a quick one. So let's see what else we have. So we want to change Coredata and add date modified. Okay, so to do that, we just need to come here, go to notes entity. So we have password, text, and string. So what we want to do is we want to do date created for each note, and we also want to do date last modified, just so we have an idea of when it was last modified. And for both of these, we're going to give it a date variable type. That's pretty much it, really. So by doing so, now we have those two attributes as well to our model. There is more work to do for this specific ticket, where we do have to actually do some functionality. We have to do some code and logic instead of adding it, so that every single time we add or edit a note, we want to change that value. So instead of set value, maybe for date created, it'll be set value. So it'll be something like this. So it'll be like note.set value, and here it's gonna be the current date, right? Whatever it is, right? Current date, just for that. And then the string would be called date created, something like that. So something like that. And that pretty much will set the value for notes for that attribute. That's it. So that's just that way we know when a note was last modified and whatnot. So that was pretty much a quick fix. You know, all four of these are now fixed here. So these are what we're gonna be doing. We did this video. For next video, we're gonna probably do more of these. Sorry, we're gonna do more of these here. But this is pretty much it for this episode. Thanks for watching and have a good one. See you guys next time.